The restaurant was glowing with soft daylight spilling in through tall windows, and Christmas decorations shimmered gently as if breathing. Yet despite the warmth inside, Arya Hale felt colder than the snow gathering outside. She sat alone at a table set for two, tracing the rim of her untouched water glass. Her blind date, a man her friend had sworn was perfect, had taken one look at her, checked his watch, and simply walked out. No explanation, no goodbye, just a quiet dismissal that hit harder than any words. Arya wasn't someone who cried easily, but this moment on a Christmas afternoon of all days made her heart collapse inward. She felt foolish, unworthy, and unbearably visible in a room full of happy families and couples. Her chest tightened as she tried to steady her breathing, wondering how she had become the one left behind again. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the beauty of unexpected moments, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Tell us in the comments where you are watching from. Your support helps us spread more uplifting stories. Arya forced a small smile at the waiter who tried to check on her. She insisted she was fine, though nothing inside her felt fine. She reminded herself that she was 32, independent, a graphic designer with a stable career and a life she had built with her own resilience. But rejection always found a way to scrape old wounds raw. She wondered why she had let herself hope again. Why she had dressed in her favorite sapphire dress, why she had agreed to a blind date on Christmas, perhaps the most emotionally charged day of the year. She hated how the empty chair across from her seemed to taunt her, reminding her of all the times she had been almost chosen, almost loved, almost enough. As she stared out the window, watching family stroll by with gift bags and warm laughter, Arya felt something inside her slowly crumble. Maybe she wasn't meant for this. Maybe some people were simply destined to live life quietly, observing love instead of receiving it. She inhaled, willing herself not to let tears fall in public. The soft hum of Christmas music only made the moment more bittersweet. For a second, she considered leaving, but her legs felt too heavy, her pride too bruised to make a graceful exit. Then something shifted, soft footsteps, hesitant yet purposeful, stopping beside her table. Arya turned slightly and saw a little girl no older than 6, with golden curls clipped back by a yellow bow, staring up at her with wide, understanding eyes. Behind the child stood a young man, maybe in his early 30s, tall and well-dressed, clearly surprised by the girl's boldness. The child looked at Arya with a curious gentleness, as though she had been observing her for a while. Before Arya could process the moment, the girl spoke with all the honesty and innocence only children possess. She asked if they could join her. For the first time in what felt like forever, Ariel's breath caught for a good reason. She felt a warmth she hadn't felt since childhood, when someone reached out just because they cared, not because they wanted anything in return. She nodded weakly, and the little girl broke into a wide smile, climbing into the chair across from her as if she had known Arya her whole life. The young man apologized softly for the interruption, explaining that his daughter had insisted on coming over. Arya waved it off, assuring him it was all right. In truth, it was more than all right. It was a lifeline. As they settled in, the restaurant seemed to brighten around her. Arya learned that the girl's name was Marin and that the man, her father, was named Callum Reeves. He was a software engineer and a widower of 3 years. This detail carried a quiet weight, settling into the air between them. Arya noticed how Callum watched his daughter with a mixture of affection and sorrow, the kind that only comes from loving deeply and losing deeply. Marin was bubbly and talkative, and though Arya didn't ask, she sensed the little girl recognized loneliness when she saw it. Perhaps that was why she had approached her so fearlessly. As the minutes passed, Arya found herself laughing softly, a foreign yet welcome sound. Marin excitedly shared stories about her school, her drawings, her love for yellow dresses, and how today was the first Christmas she felt truly happy again because her dad had finally taken a day off. Callum listened with patient eyes, occasionally adding something thoughtful, his voice calm and warm. There was something grounding about him, something steady, the opposite of the men who had abandoned her that afternoon. Arya realized she had stopped thinking about that men altogether. They ordered lunch together, and although it was unplanned and unconventional, the three of them seemed strangely meant to share the table. Arya felt the heaviness in her chest loosening with every moment. She wasn't trying to impress anyone. She wasn't trying to be chosen. She was simply existing in a moment of genuine human connection, something she had forgotten the world still offered. Callum eventually admitted that he had noticed her sitting alone earlier, looking heartbroken, and that he had wanted to reach out, but wasn't sure if she wanted company. It was Marin who made the decision for both of them. Arya felt something flicker inside, a soft, hopeful spark she didn't dare name. The afternoon sunlight fell across their table, illuminating the scene in a gentle golden warmth. For a moment, it felt like Christmas was giving her a second chance at something she had stopped believing in. After lunch, Marin insisted they take a small walk outside to see the Christmas decorations along the sidewalk. The snow was light and powdery, the storefront wreaths shimmering as people passed by wrapped in scarves and smiling. Arya walked between them, and though she barely knew them, she felt an inexplicable sense of belonging. Callum kept glancing at her with a quiet curiosity, and Arya found herself wondering just briefly if this unexpected meeting was more than coincidence. As they reached the end of the street, Marin hugged Arya's leg, thanking her for letting them join her. Arya crouched down to hug her back, feeling tears threaten again, but this time they came from a place of healing. Callum stood a few steps away, watching the exchange with a soft, grateful expression. Before they parted, he gently asked if he could see her again, only if she felt comfortable. Arya hesitated for a moment, not out of fear, but out of awe at how life had shifted in a single afternoon. She nodded, allowing hope to return in quiet, cautious waves. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Your engagement helps us continue creating emotional, inspiring content for you. Before we end, tell us in the comments what would you have done if you were in Arya's place.